Okay, this is a real headline from Slate.com. You ready? I'm a heterosexual woman who's politically opposed to heterosexuality. I'm really repelled by heterosexuality, politically and personally, but I'm also really into dick. This is why Donald Trump is president, okay? What's going on, guys? Vince Dow for Patriot Productions, and the impeachment hearings continued yesterday, but honestly, like, who cares? Like, it's the Democrats have no case. Trump is clearly just gonna get acquitted. It's a whole big nothing burger. I mean, do you care? I don't care. But, you know, while these impeachment hearings are going on, they're really distracting us from actual things that are happening in America, okay? So we're going to talk about the things that are actually happening in America, okay? Don't let these impeachment hearings distract you from the fact that our society is freaking degenerating, okay? Okay, our society is literally degenerating, okay? And why do I say that? Well, a list of reasons, but it's best exemplified in this article I saw from Slate earlier last morning. Now, we all know Slate. Slate is a radical far left news website, but oh my God, they've really taken things to the next level here. Okay, when conservatives talk about how the radical LGBT movement, not necessarily the community, but the LGBT movement has taken things way too far. Okay. Stuff like this is exactly what we're talking about, okay? Let me read this. Let me read this headline for you, okay? Okay, this is a real headline from Slate.com. You ready? I'm a heterosexual woman who's politically opposed to heterosexuality. Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. Dear How to Do It. I'm a cis woman in kind of a classic millennial sex pickle. I'm really repelled by heterosexuality, politically and personally, but I'm also really into dick. Okay, hold on. Okay, right away. We are legitimately one sentence into this article, and I'm already disturbed. Okay, first of all, in literally the first sentence of the article, she's literally talking about how she doesn't like the fact that she's heterosexual. Like, I thought the LGBT movement was supposed to be about tolerating everyone's sexuality, right? Being open to everyone's sexuality. But no, as we've known all along, that's not what this is really about. What this is really about is creating this sort of intersectional hierarchy where if you're gay or if you have another sexuality that's not hetero, you want to just claim this intersectional high ground. Like, hey, look at you and your straight privilege. And that's exactly what this is, okay? Okay, let's... Okay, let's keep reading here. Okay, ready? I've been thinking maybe I should look for bi dudes / vicarious gay dudes, but I am not sure how best to do that. This is what we mean by radical LGBT agenda. Okay, Rich, what would you think of a woman being on Grindr or Scruff? I do want to be respectful of gay men's spaces and not horn in where I'm not welcome. But I also would really like to find a verse guy with queer politics who would be up for casually dating a woman. If you were me, where would you look? That's it. It's the end of times. Society's finished. We are finished as a society. Okay, there's nothing left. Like, we might as well just wait for the end times, wait for the nuclear. It's over. It's over. Okay, we have no chance. Our society has zero. What the fuck? Okay, hold on. As I said in the beginning of this video, okay, this is what we mean by radical LGBT agenda, okay? Because the point originally of the gay rights movement was simply supposed to be tolerate everyone's sexuality, whether you're gay, lesbian, pansexual, whatever that means, or straight. We tolerate your sexuality. But as conservatives have known for a very long time, as this article completely exposes, that's at least not what it's about anymore, okay? What it's about now comes from the same sort of line of thinking as white privilege, which is the goal of the LGBT movement, is to sort of create this intersectional hierarchy where if you're gay or lesbian or pansexual, metrosexual, whatever, you are on this moral high ground where you can say, look at the straight people below me. I'm being oppressed. And so look at this woman. This is what the radical LGBT movement creates, okay? This woman is politically opposed to heterosexuality. Like, she's straight, but the LGBT movement has taught her to think, well, I'm supposed to hate myself for being heterosexual because, well, heterosexual people are privileged, straight privilege, and therefore I feel like a bad person. Man, I wish I was gay, or I wish I was lesbian so that I wouldn't have to be so privileged and be an oppressor. Like, what the hell? What? We're done as a society. Okay, that's it. We're finished. Hold on. Okay, if I said in an op-ed or wherever that I said I am politically opposed to homosexuality, the LGBT movement would come from my freaking throat. Okay, they call me a homophobe, bigot, all this. They probably send me threats. Like it would just be terrible. Okay, and if the point of the LGBT movement is to accept all sexualities, why is it okay for this far left cis woman loon bag to say publicly she is politically and personally opposed to heterosexuality? Okay, like seriously, when we celebrate titles like sexual revolution for who exactly? Because I thought, according to you, we were supposed to live in a world where we tolerate all sexualities and we can all coexist and it's fine, everyone's happy. But instead, we're living in a world where heterosexuality is discouraged. Like people are celebrated for saying that they are opposed politically and personally to heterosexuality, but they're also really into dick. Okay, do not forget that. Do not forget that. Okay, like I am so freaking confused by this, but I think what this woman is basically saying is that, well, I regret the fact that I'm straight, so can I do something that makes me sort of not straight? Like, okay, but let's read the Slate editors or whoever this is. Let's read Slate's response to this person, okay? Ready? Dear Radical, I'm not sure I'd call this a classic millennial sex pickle, and I'd like to hear more about your particular flavor of self-flagellating dick politics. This is why Donald Trump is president, okay? Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention. In her letter, she mentioned something called queer politics, but I would really love to find a verse guy with queer politics. What are queer politics? How are they different from straight politics, right? This is what I mean. Again, by radical LGBT agenda, okay? We've created this thing called queer politics, where if you are gay, if you are queer, well, that makes you politically advantageous. What the heck are queer politics? Okay, according to this woman, it would seem that queer politics are politics in which people are outrightly politically opposed to heterosexuality. Like this is what I love. When the left becomes so progressive that they actually start to oppose equality and start to like embrace bigotry toward other groups. Like, okay, but let's keep reading the response, okay? A general rule of thumb I wish more people followed is, if you enter a space as someone who is not a member of the demographic for which space was established, you should behave yourself. Okay, good point, okay? Wait a minute, here, listen to this. Don't make something that has been designed to not be about you. Oh, shoot! Dude, she got wrecked, okay? No, the world is not your bachelorette party. Boom! Oh, shoot! I'm sure this Slate editor, we agreed on nothing politically, but at least they're responding in the proper way. Like, this girl literally just wants to make this LGBT sexual revolution about herself. Like, she's not even she's like 100% heterosexual, but she wants to get in on sort of the gay self-victimhood ideology. I mean, like, this really is like a shining example of leftism, okay? Someone who is clearly not a member of one of these so-called marginalized groups wants to just get into that group just to feel marginalized. Wonderful. So if you must go the route of using digital spaces dominated by men seeking men, as a cis woman with, no offense, ostensibly hetero desires, not sure why being hetero would ever be offensive in a million years, but some gay and even bi men might admonish you for even trying your hand at the gay grid, but we must acknowledge that it's not just a space for queer men anymore. In recent years, dating apps like Grindr and Scruff have become more trans inclusive, including trans women. They offer trans as an option to one's tribe, implicitly accepting that trans people will use the apps. And okay, I don't know what I'm reading. Okay, I've legitimately stumbled down a rabbit hole of like I can't believe I'm actually reading this, but all kinds of spaces that were previously thought of being as only for men are now more queer inclusive. I think that's good. Guys are still getting plenty of dick. They will always find a way to do so, and other identities have more outlets as well. Something you should keep in mind is that pursuing guys who share your interest in dick will hardly weed out jerks. There are a lot of shitty men who identify as gay and bi, and their queerness doesn't automatically absolve them of misogyny. This is true. This is true, okay? Again, we live in this left-wing society where if you are of a so-called marginalized race or sexuality or gender, that automatically must mean you are a much better person than everyone else, okay? And that's intersectionality for you, and it's utter BS. In fact, the misogyny is in some of these dudes is compounded by a perceived lack of use for women. At least straight guys will pretend to be civilized for the sake of getting laid. Okay, folks, let me make a distinction. Not that I would ever want to date a woman like this in a freaking million years, but if you want guys who are not simply out there trying to get laid, like the straight guys just mentioned, it's called conservative guys. Okay, we're not in it for that. We're not in it for the sex. Okay, we want strong, healthy relationships. We want marriage. We don't believe in hookups. Okay, so like, not her. Please do not hit me up, you freaking crazy person. But like, you know, people who actually want like serious relationships and marriage. You know, conservative guys. You know, hit us up. Hit us up. We're much better. Virginity rocks, folks. Oh. Okay, yeah, so this is exactly what the radical LGBT agenda, who, may I state, has gone way too far, is doing to believers of it, okay? You're taking a perfectly straight person, perfectly heterosexual person, who was perfectly before, like perfectly ingrained and comfortable with their heterosexuality. You're now making them uncomfortable about their sexuality and thinking, oh, well, I'm straight, but I'm politically opposed to it. I feel bad about it. Is there a way I can sort of branch out so I don't have to feel so bad about being straight? Okay, how is that progressive? How is that tolerance? How, like, since when was that the point of the whole sexual revolution thing, where we were supposed to embrace everyone, no matter whatever anyone wants to do, let's just embrace it and be okay with it? No, that's not what the LGBT agenda has done. What the LGBT agenda has done has taught straight people like her to, in a way, feel ashamed about their sexuality and actually make them feel uncomfortable about their own sexuality, okay? So for a movement who's so obsessed with making everyone feel comfortable, hey, you know what, if you feel gay, if you feel this, well, you know, that's fine, just embrace it, it's okay, we're all gonna accept you. For a movement with that message, isn't it awfully hypocritical that they make women like this actually feel uncomfortable about their sexuality because they're not part of the LGBT community? That's not tolerance. That's not progress here, folks. Guys, just stick with conservative women, okay? Life is much simpler. They don't question their own sexuality because the TV and the political agenda told them to. They don't go thinking, well, you know, I really wish I could have a gay guy for intersectionality. No, okay. Just telling you, stick with conservative women. You'll be happier. You'll have stronger relationships. Okay, you'll have better kids. You'll be happier. Okay, and like the research has shown this. I'm telling you this. Anyone will tell you this. Stick with conservative girls. Stick with the conservative ideal of dating. Okay, don't get into this. Oh, well, I'm really into dick. Let me just write that on a public platform. Yeah, don't get into it. Okay, just stick to conservative girls, stick to conservative dating, stick to conservative values, and life's gonna be okay. Okay, we don't have to deal with like stupid crap like this. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Leave a thought. What do you think of this article? What do you think of the LGBT agenda? What do you think of the whole, like, the state that the sexual revolution is at? Personally, I think it's in a terrible, a ridiculous place that has, it's just, I don't know. Okay, let me know what you guys think. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Patriot Productions. Follow me on Instagram at @TheVinceDow. I know most of you guys come from Instagram, but for those of you who don't, go follow me. Okay, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Remember, please only date conservatives.